My name is Chen Luo, and I am a eunuch. I learned the basic skills of eunuchs in a month. For example, how to prevent shoes from getting wet. Just as I gave up struggling, ready to waste my life and wait for the next life. My system is here. And tell me. I can live forever. You yawned and felt even more drowsy, but it wasn't really useful. You perfunctorily cleaned the yard, gained the skill of cleaning, and gained 1 experience point. You tell me, it's just this kind of system. What is the use of an immortal eunuch? What kind of egg is there for? Keywords of the novel. As a eunuch, I don't want to live forever without pop-ups. As a eunuch, I don't want to live forever at all. Chapter 1. Is not very useful for eggs. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 1 is not very useful for eggs. Chow thief is a kind of spirit. Everyone wants to become a bandit, not everyone can become a bandit. Chen Luo felt that perhaps one day he could touch that spiritual realm. But none of this is possible anymore. Squatting on the ground, bend your head down, looking down. Every time I look, Chen Luo had to take another puff. It's still the kind of stinging pain. He had to accept a fact. Don't say you have become a bandit. Now it's time to become a craftsman. I don't even have this opportunity anymore. You can't shake anymore. There's no toilet paper either. Then let's shake it off. Fortunately, over the past month, Chen Luo has become more proficient. He still remembers at the beginning, every time he wet his shoes, I can't pee into a pit either. It's much better now, the shoes are not wet anymore. Hey, this pit has also become. Even small ones can be used to raise fish. There is just one small shortcoming. Maybe. Because of a side leak, right? So, even if I wash myself every day, I always feel like that smell is still there. Is it? This is a common ailment among eunuchs. Chen Luo is a traveler. Let's forget about the journey. He also crossed over and became a eunuch. This is a place called the Zhou dynasty, where the imperial palace and harem of the Zhou dynasty are located. The name of this body is also called Chen Luo. The background has no background. Just a simple and pitiful child. The kind that can't survive anymore. I heard that being a eunuch can provide enough food. So as soon as I found out that eunuchs would be accepted in the palace, I went to register. After all, if you die, there's nothing left. To live, at least to have a chance. Isn't that just those 2 liang of meat? If you give up, then give up. It's just that being a eunuch is not easy either. When I first collected people, there were at least hundreds of them. There's no way, I'm afraid I won't be able to wait until my predecessor. So this kid's heart hardened. I found a pair of scissors and just cut it myself. I remember the scene at that time. Blood was so high. The old eunuch in the clean room trembled when he saw this scene. We will finalize this predecessor on the spot. The reason is crisp, sharp, and ruthless. This kind of person can definitely survive in the harem. If this is not included, it would be a waste of talent. So this kid just came in. When Chen Luo received this memory, he couldn't help but give the child a thumbs up. This is really a talented person. Only talents can be so cruel to themselves. Anyway, I don't have the courage. It's just I don't have the courage, but I still have to blame myself. As for this week in my memory, it was a very ordinary Zhou dynasty, no different from all dynasties, but the appointment of the Zhou emperor was quite interesting. Originally, this throne did not belong to the current emperor of Zhou. But he felt that this throne should belong to him. It was his nephew, the emperor at that time, who tampered with the imperial edict and usurped his position. So an event called the Apocalypse was launched. Killed the imperial city in 3 days. His nephew was so scared that he ran away overnight. I heard that no one has been found so far. Chen Luo thought about it. Isn't the plot exactly the same as that of Emperor Yongle? Could it be that the name of the emperor of the Zhou dynasty is Zhu Di? The result was that Chen Luo overthought, the emperor of this great Zhou had the surname Xiao. Yes. It's the one with the most main characters, Xiao. This is not a good thing. Because this means that the world is no longer familiar to oneself. Pretending to force someone to slap them in the face or something, there's no need to do it. Of course. I am now a eunuch, what are you pretending to be? What kind of pressure can you put on? Strive hard and become a big landlord. Sorry, you are a eunuch, it's useless. You are not afraid of difficulties and hardships, have made great contributions to the Zhou dynasty, and have been conferred the title of marquis or general. Sorry, you are a eunuch, it's useless. Did you use wisdom and vision beyond this era to rebel and become the emperor of the Zhou dynasty? Sorry, this is really impossible. Not to mention being an ordinary person in my past life. It can be considered that he truly became the emperor of the Zhou dynasty, so sorry, you are still a eunuch, you're still useless. It's useless in both directions, what else is there to struggle with? Let's put it down. The eunuch Fu Zhong, who originally admired Chen Luo very much, was going to send him to Yang Fei's side. Yang Fei is an incredible master. I heard that she was particularly favored by the emperor and stayed overnight with her for a month. Be sure to use the popular juicer in the harem. If Chen Luo were with her, with a better expression, at least she would have struggled for a few less years. But Chen Luo didn't want to. Although I am physically disabled. You're not heartbroken. Now that Yang Guifei is so favored by the emperor, she will always encounter that kind of love and kindness, right? It's hard to say whether it's for love or not. It could also be just a simple desire to remain calm and composed as a eunuch. It's inevitable to have to serve, right? Yes. I am a eunuch, that's right. Eunuchs also have dignity. They can't whip themselves repeatedly like this, can they? Aren't you still miserable? Of course. There is another more important reason. This harem is not a safe place. The legend of Zhen Huan and Chen Luo are also worth watching. How deep the water is. There are no 100 or 80 people with ulterior motives. Can you get by? Now Yang Guifei is favored. There are still people who can compete for favor. The vast harem is not just her concubine. If one day she accidentally cools down, as a young eunuch, she is afraid to suffer a reckless disaster. I am already a eunuch anyway. It doesn't matter anything anymore. This is how my life has been. Then let's just mess it up. Live this life safely and strive to be a man in the next life. Old eunuch Fu Zhong couldn't figure out Chen Luo's choice. I even feel that he has wasted his talent. Chen Luo really wants to tell him. He doesn't even have eggs, where does he have any talent? But this old eunuch is treating him well. Then. Be mute. Fortunately, Fu Zhong still has some connection. I think Chen Luo was at least brought in by himself, but I really don't care. Finally, Chen Luo was sent to the royal library and became a cleaning eunuch with a rhythm that was both out of sight and out of mind. Of course, it also means giving up on this guy. Upon hearing that he had been sent to the library, Chen Luo's eyes lit up on the spot. This is a great place. There is a saying in the library that even dogs do not come. In my lifetime here, I may not even see a living person. This is not suitable for a safe placement. A good place to spend the rest of your life. In the past, some emperors would occasionally send people over to find some books and take them over to have a look, but later they became less common. It's like reading a book would kill him. The current emperor of the Zhou dynasty is also an emperor on horseback. Reading books is even more impossible. This is even better. The emperor of the Zhou dynasty didn't like reading, so there wouldn't be anyone coming here, not even eunuchs. This person is coming less often. The more you can put it on yourself, the safer it is. Well, I just turned 20 now, and based on the average age of 60 this week, I'm here. I still have 40 years left. In 40 years, I will be able to hang up. It's pretty good. Come on, Chen Luo. You can do it. Chen Luo held a broom and casually swept the courtyard in front of him, which was as big as a palm. Ha! He patted his mouth. I yawned deeply. That's great. Today is another lazy day. He made a decision. Now go back and take a nap. I'll clean up this yard tomorrow. Forget it, it should be within a week. After all, this courtyard is quite large. You yawned very comfortably, but it didn't have any effect. Instead, you became even more drowsy. Chen Luo. What thing? How could there be a line of words in front of me? Grandpa, did I hallucinate? End of this chapter. Chapter 2. Some perks. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 2. Some perks. Wiped my eyes and stared hard at my eyes. As a result, the line of words slowly disappeared in front of him. Is this an illusion? Chen Luo murmured. Since childhood, he has never suffered from such a disease where he can still experience hallucinations in front of his eyes, so this is Goldfinger. Cheating. Chen Luo inexplicably felt a little tempted. As a eunuch, he now needs an extra cheat. A cheat that can make him feel the happiness wrapped around him again. System. Chen Luo shouted. He is just probing. There is no idea of delving deeper. Unexpectedly, with this shout, a system template actually appeared in front of me. Just this system template is definitely the cleanest one that Chen Luo has ever seen. That's right. It's just clean. On the template, there is only one name and one talent. Name. Chen Luo. Talent. Immortality. And it's gone. Chen Luo too was completely bewildered at the time. Everything else is fine. This is the talent. What kind of ghost is it? Immortal. Chen Gonggang, I am a eunuch. Can you tell me that my talent is immortality? Is this a bit excessive? Originally, it only took about 42 years to be liberated. Are you telling me now that you won't have a chance in your lifetime? Murder kills the heart. Brother, what's going on? As for the capabilities of this system, when the template is opened, all of this information comes to mind. It's very simple. This system can help the host provide prompts and gain experience points when performing certain behaviors. Looking at the courtyard in front of me danced the broom. The yard was cleaned up in no time. The workload of the week was hard won within 3 minutes. I didn't expect it, Chen Luo. You work hard, you're even afraid of yourself. Chen Luo sighed for a moment and turned his head to focus on the system. Sure enough, that prompt has appeared again. You perfunctorily cleaned the yard, and it looks a little cleaner now. You have acquired the skill. Cleaning. You have gained 1 experience point in cleaning. Your cleaning skills have been slightly improved. P.S. There's a little bit, but not much on the template. Finally, no longer clean, instead, there is an additional skill below. Name. Chen Luo. Talent. Immortality. Skills. Cleaning. 1/100. This time, looking at this template that had undergone changes, Chen Luo fell into contemplation. I don't know why. He had a bold idea. The reason why people cannot move forward is because they cannot find the right path, but now this system has appeared. It can help oneself find the right guidance. As long as you do it right. So you can achieve visible improvements to the naked eye. Think about it in a different way. I am currently a eunuch. Is there a chance to make oneself not a eunuch? There's no way. I really care about this matter. 3,000 beautiful women from the harem. Are you actually a eunuch? Who doesn't scratch their hearts? Especially now I have awakened a talent. Immortality. In the long years, every day I remind myself. You are a eunuch, you have no eggs. Who is this for, who doesn't collapse? He had always wanted to ruin his life. But now, the opportunity has come. I have an endless lifespan. As long as I find my direction, can I regain happiness? Think of it here. Chen Luo threw away the broom directly. Run towards the library. As the library with the most books in Dazhou, this place has the most complete collection of books in Dazhou. Basically, more than 80% of the books in the country can be found here. Chen Luo wants to experiment. Check if your guess is correct. Found it. Chen Luo grabbed a book from the bookshelf and pulled it out with thick dust, choking Chen Luo's face. Over the years, the library has long been abandoned. Chen Luo is the only eunuch who has been thrown here in recent years. There is no one cleaning this place at all. Spider webs, dust, these are all minor issues. Chen Luo didn't care about it either, but carefully looked at the book, Pharmacopoeia of Medicine Saint. This is a medical book. Rumor has it that it is the only inheritance passed down by the only medicine saint of the great Zhou dynasty. Of course. Is it really not important? The important thing is whether this book is useful for Chen Luo. That's the key. 1 hour later. You have watched the Medicine Saint Medical Manual and gained some vague insights. You have learned the skill. Medical skills. Your experience has been improved by 1 point. P.S. The conditions for learning this medical book exceed your current level. It is recommended to continue learning when your level reaches the level of integration and integration. Put down the book. Chen Luo's face showed a satisfied smile. Indeed useful. Of course, the most useful one is the following prompt. It can prompt Chen to fall at the appropriate time. Doing what suits oneself. I have learned the skills of this medical technique, but if I want to gain maximum experience, I still need to learn from the most basic aspects. Other people's words may not be very useful. After all, relying on reading, it is impossible to see what the medical saint and medicinal sage are, and there is not that much time. But, Grandpa, I'm just an old monster who won't die anymore. Let's endure it slowly. Can we always get through it? Chen Luo's mood has become more beautiful. I used to feel hopeless. Now hope has come. If I learn to be a medical master myself, is there still no way to become a man? Ha! Tue. A dead eunuch. Goodbye. In our lifetime, the only thing we dislike is eunuchs. The land of the harem. An abandoned library. Apart from Chen Luo, who is a pervert, not many people are willing to get close to here. So this library actually seems to have become Chen Luo's private territory. No matter how much trouble you make, it won't have any impact. With the support of the system, Chen Luo felt like he had beaten chicken blood. Even the yard has become clean 3 days later. Chen Luo lay in a large font on a pile of books. Staring blankly at the 2 male and female spiders on the crossbeam who were engaged in indescribable behavior, he thought. He is probably sick. I can't figure it out horizontally or vertically. Sitting up, he picked up the treatise on cold damage in front of him. This sadness comes involuntarily. Looking at the 2 books in front of me with a gloomy expression. The one on the left is Notes on the Daily Life of Eunuchs. This is his. On the right are the 3 things you must learn as a eunuch. This is also his. Why? Doesn't it work? He originally thought that as long as he learned medical skills, he could shake off his identity as a eunuch. But now it seems. This road doesn't seem to have much use for eggs. In 3 days, I was forced to level 2 in my medical skills, from beginner to novice. He realized. Even if this medical technique is learned to the extreme, it is impossible to achieve amputation and rebirth. Of course. Using someone else's is not unacceptable. In this medical book, there is a skill called continuation. Can this be the same? Chen Luo was lost. Tired of one's own waste, let others enjoy it. Chen Gonggang, Chen Gonggang. You seem to be a bit abnormal. The new book period is very important, and I hope everyone can go to the last chapter to read it and help contribute to the follow-up reading. If possible, I would like to help invest in the new book, Newcomer Xiaopeng. Thank you all, big shots. End of this chapter. Chapter 3. Daocheng. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Chapter 3. Daocheng. Chen Luo, are you still alive? If you're alive, make a sound. A sharp voice came from outside the library. Chen Luo was already feeling annoyed. I didn't raise my head when I heard this. There was a dull squeak. Duh, it's the sound of going upstairs. Quickly, a little eunuch wearing a skillful crown, a round neck, and a large-sleeved robe leaned over. When the little eunuch saw Chen Luo lying there with disheveled hair and a lifeless expression, some disdainfully fanned the air in front of them. Chen Luo, what are you doing? Chen Luo gave a faint glance at the little eunuch. Are you becoming a lobbyist again? The eunuch's name is Jing Sanbao. Entering the palace with oneself. Originally, he was also a poor family. At the beginning, Chen Luo still liked him, but later, he didn't like him anymore. The reason is very simple. I have seen drifters advise technicians to behave well. Have you ever seen someone persuade a young eunuch to take care of a young girl's bath? This is not a good person. Of course. These three treasures were not intentional either. Even Fu Zhong didn't know what was going on, so he had to ask Chen Luo to serve Yang Guifei. Perhaps is it because I am too handsome? A handsome man, even a eunuch, cannot conceal his radiance. Chen Luo thought so. Now seeing Jing Sanbao coming over, Chen Luo naturally felt that he had come to be a lobbyist again. I'm telling you, I'm just like this. I don't understand how to serve people, and I'm lazy. The library is a good place to work. I've been treating this place as my home since I first started. I love it so much, so don't try to persuade me. Jing Sanbao. This time, I'm either a lobbyist or I happen to have some time today to come and see if you're still alive. It seems like you're still alive. Jing Sanbao doesn't understand what's good in this damn place. Eating. I can't eat enough. Sleeping. I can't sleep well. The only benefit is that freedom is not regulated by anyone. Anyway, he doesn't like being here. Chen Luo naturally knew what Jing Sanbao was thinking. He was also too lazy to explain that in this harem, freedom is sometimes the most precious. Of course. A complete man is even better. Unfortunately, Jing Sanbao doesn't understand this. Chen Luo didn't expect him to understand either. These people have lost their dreams. Let them be a good salted fish. Why force the salted fish to turn over? Different from Chen Luo. Jing Sanbao thinks that people need to climb up step by step. Even a eunuch must be the one who stands the highest. So after Chen Luo refused Fu Zhong's visit to Yang Guifei, Jing Sanbao begged for this opportunity, and now he works with Yang Guifei. It may also be because this opportunity was given by Chen Luo. Therefore, Jing Sanbao is still very grateful to Chen Luo. This time Jing Sanbao came, he brought several pieces of news to Chen Luo, which is basically the biggest source of information for Chen Luo in the inner palace. The first news is that Li Jiaoyi has been in theft as a concubine. In the imperial harem of the great Zhou dynasty, the women of the emperor were also classified into different levels. Empress, imperial concubine, noble concubine, 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 Zhaoyi, concubine, beauty, talent, noble person, attendant, lady, etc. Li Jiaoyi and Chen Luo, as mentioned by Jing Sanbao, are also known. When Chen Luo entered the palace, it was also the time when Li Jiaoyi entered the palace. And as soon as she entered, she became Jiaoyi. Chen Luo heard that the background of Li Jiaoyi is not simple. I remember that Li Jiaoyi's older brother seemed to be a general. Now that Li Jiaoyi has been promoted to the rank of concubine, has her older brother made contributions? You guessed it right. Li Jiaoyi's older brother's name is Li Jun. This time, General Li Jun annihilated over 200,000 elite soldiers of the state of Zhao in one fell swoop on the border. This is definitely the biggest victory of my week in recent years. The news came back, and His Majesty was extremely excited. I heard that at the court meeting, he directly said in front of the officials, Li Jun is the god of war of the Zhou dynasty. When he returned to the harem, His Majesty directly promoted Li Jiaoyi to the rank of Empress Li. Chen Luo nodded. Just say it. With such a god of war brother, Li Jiaoyi. No, it's Empress Li. Naturally, her status can rise. Not only that, I heard General Li has become a master after tomorrow. It is because he has become a master after tomorrow that he can make this extraordinary contribution this time. Master of the day after tomorrow. There is a saying of warriors in this world. However, this warrior is just like that, and there is nothing as exaggerated as in novels, such as being able to open the sky and crack the earth. But the day after tomorrow, that's really the end of the martial arts world. I heard that there were less than 10 masters in the entire Zhou dynasty. The day after tomorrow. Chen Luo remembers that Li Jun seems to be only in his 20s. At this age, reaching such a level is truly impressive. Some envy but not much. Because it's useless for oneself. For consortly, this is a good thing with such a powerful elder brother around. As long as Li Jun doesn't fall, she can be considered safer in the harem. My empress said that from now on, Empress Li's position in the harem will be of great importance. She instructed us servants not to offend Empress Li. Even my empress personally gave many gifts when she was promoted to the imperial concubine. Zheng Sanbao said. It seems that Yang Guifei is quite a clever person. Chen Luo smiled inwardly. The second thing is that I heard that Emperor Tianqi had gone crazy this time. Suddenly, he found his own sons and began to spot-check their studies. As for the exact outcome, I don't know. Anyway, I heard that when eunuchs from the imperial study come out, their feet are trembling. Several princes were even beaten several times. Upon hearing the news, Zheng Sanbao said that Emperor Tianqi was preparing to start arresting the prince's studies. The third thing is about another eunuch familiar to Chen Luo and Zheng Sanbao. Wei Mingyi. I heard he has found a match for food, a palace made from the Shanyi Bureau. This matter made Zheng Sanbao envious. This time I came over to ask Chen Luo if he wants to find a partner who is compatible with food. After all, in this kind of place, it would be great if we could find someone to eat with. At least this night, it won't be too lonely and cold. You think, if you're here alone, no one knows what's going on. No one can take care of you even if you have a headache or a headache. Do you think so? I think so. What about you? It's better to find a better match. Do you still remember that palace maid named Xiaofang? I see she's interested in you. Should I give it to you? Scared. Chen Luo. What are you doing? Zheng Sanbao was still talking when suddenly he was startled by Chen Luo. I saw Chen Luo, who was originally listening to him with an expression of helplessness, suddenly feel as if he had been possessed by a ghost. Rushed to the bookshelf. Shackled and disheveled. Continuously flipping through boxes and cabinets. A book was thrown to the ground by him. Seemingly possessed. It's not this book. Neither is it. Where is it? I clearly remember seeing it here. Why is it missing? Suddenly Chen Luo's whole body trembled. Trembling, he reached out his hand towards a book in front of him that was extremely broken. When I get that book. Open it up and take a look. Listen to that familiar voice. Chen Luo burst into laughter. He turned around and hugged Zheng Sanbao fiercely, saying, Jia Jia, my father. Law's way finally has hope. Zheng Sanbao. End of this chapter. Chapter 4. 3rd grade. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 4 Third grade Chen Luo is crazy. Zheng Sanbao looked at Chen Luo, who was obsessed with reading books. He suddenly felt a bit uncomfortable. How can a good person go crazy? When leaving, Zheng Sanbao secretly put down a meat bun. He wants to I should come and see him often. When Zheng Sanbao left, Chen Luo did not notice it. He was immersed in the sea of books. Having a system makes it easy to use. Just as I opened the book, the prompt came over there. You have flipped through an unnamed book and found some things about martial arts. Your martial arts experience has been improved by +1. P.S. This is not an introductory book on martial arts. I suggest you read some books about meridians, acupoints, and other aspects, which will have greater benefits for your martial arts experience. Martial arts is the most mysterious thing in this continent right now. It's difficult just to enter the martial arts world. It requires a certain amount of talent. Chen Luo's talent is very poor. When I first entered the harem, the Shanwu Bureau had already tested me. I don't even have the basic talent. It's like cutting off the path of martial arts. That's also why Chen Luo didn't even want to try martial arts anymore. After all, without talent, how can one learn this martial arts? Just now, Zheng Sanbao mentioned that Li Jun had entered the realm of postnatal cultivation, and Chen Luo suddenly remembered his own system. Do you think this system can make you a martial artist? Then, with the help of martial arts, enter the immortal realm. Chen Luo admitted that he had a gambling element. But having an immortal self is not a unique cultivator. His time advantage lies in him. Even if one cannot enter the immortal realm from the martial arts realm. So what? If one becomes an acquired master, an innate master. Isn't it possible to go out of the harem? When the time comes, I will search all over the continent. There will always be a chance to find a little trace of cultivation, right? Of course, if we can't find it yet. Chen Luo thought for a moment. There is actually a way to crack this talent of immortality. For example, smiling at the sky with a horizontal knife. As a eunuch, he has unlimited possibilities. You have been exercising for more than half an hour, and your physical fitness has improved. P.S. It is recommended that you exercise regularly, as it helps with your physical health. A healthy body is a guarantee of longevity. It's a bit interesting. Chen Luo listened to the system prompt, showing a satisfied smile. If you usually explore on your own, how do you practice? How do you go to play? There's no way. But now it's different. With the prompts of this system, you can save yourself a lot of detours. Fortunately, this is a library. There's nothing else. There's just a lot of dust and books. There are books on various aspects. Chen Luo decided to follow the system prompts to read these books. I found a book called Initial Explanation of Meridians, and started reading it. Sure enough, this time the system prompts that obtaining experience points is very good. You have gained a general understanding of the human meridians by watching Initial Explanation of Meridians. Your medical experience +5. Your martial arts experience +2. P.S. You have taken a very small step, but this small step is the foundation of everything. The direction is correct. Chen Luo is very satisfied. He made up his mind. Just hide here, read well, and accumulate experience. Avoid competition and struggle. Avoid taking or grabbing. Avoid arrogance and impatience. Anyway, I am not threatened by my lifespan. I can endure him for hundreds or even thousands of years. He doesn't believe it. What danger can he endure? And this is the imperial palace. No matter how powerful a warrior is in this world, it's not that easy to break into the palace. Security measures are also in place. I am in the library again, and no one is bothering me. He feels. Being a eunuch is actually quite good. Just reading books is not enough. Combining work and rest. Since we are preparing to engage in a prolonged battle in this library, we still need to take good care of this environment. Sleeping in the garbage dump every day is not a solution. Take off your pants. It's clattering. Give it a shake. Put on and pull up your pants. Complete it in one go. Proficient in a batch. Step out of the room, pick up the broom, and clean up this library well. Wipe the bookshelf or something along the way. There were quite a few unexpected gains. After a period of exercise, your physical fitness has improved. Your mood has remained joyful, and you have gained a different understanding of the initial explanation of meridians. Your medical experience has gained +5. Your martial arts experience has gained +5. The combination of work and rest is indeed fine. In the following period of time, Chen Luo maintained this kind of day of reading and exercising at the same time. The library, originally covered in dust and spider webs, was left spotless by Chen Luo. It looks very pleasing to the eye. And in this month's time, Chen Luo's overall quality has greatly improved. After a period of immersion, your martial arts experience has been improved. Experience points +3. You have entered a new level after hearing the system prompt sound this time. Chen Luo put down his Introduction to Martial Arts and quickly opened his template. At this glance, a smile suddenly appeared. My father.in.law's days are becoming increasingly hopeful. Name: Chen Luo. Talent: Immortality skills. 1. Cleaning, 121/400, level 3, 2. Medical skills, 112 out of 400, level 3, 3. Martial arts, 1/200, level 2, level is the system's term here, but during this major week, I have entered the third level of martial arts. It is obvious that there is a faint breath circulating within oneself. This is the internal force in martial arts. It's just that the third grade is just an introduction to martial arts. This internal power is extremely rare and cannot be called upon. Fortunately, it can also be considered a great breakthrough. Chen Luo is very satisfied with what he is doing now. If you see the results, there is hope. The day when I step onto the path of cultivating immortality and focus on forging my broken muscles is even more hopeful. Put down the book. Chen Luo walked down from the library. When I arrived at the yard, I was doing what I needed to do every day: carry your hands behind your back. Taking a leisurely walk in the yard. Let's balance work and rest. This is to enjoy life. Now that we have reached the third level of martial arts, although we have just started, it is difficult for us to continue moving forward. Different from others. Chen Luo's martial arts are all revealed through reading books. They are all self-researched. Although there is a system, it can make one's foundation very solid and without any problems. But the problem is that there are only some basic martial arts solutions here in the library. If you want to continue studying, that's it. We need to find a book of techniques that we can learn next. Chen Luo murmured. Unfortunately, in this harem, where is there such a simple way to obtain martial arts? The library has a collection of books from all over the world. However, there are no such things as cultivation techniques. After all, these are basically inherited things. Even if the Zhou dynasty had obtained these martial arts, they would not have placed them here. What can be placed here are those things that are too basic to be based on, for example, things like the initial understanding of meridians. As for the secret recipe of cost, it is placed in the Tianwu Tower. I heard that there is still an innate strong person inside the Tianwu Tower. As for whether it is true, Chen Luo doesn't know. That place, Chen Luo is not qualified to approach. How about trying Tai Chi? Look at this thing, can it be used? Just as Chen Luo was about to try, a little kid walked up in front of him. When Chen Luo saw this little brat, his face immediately turned black. This annoying guy, why did he come? End of this chapter. Chapter 5. Death. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 5. Death. Chen Luo, do you seem very unhappy when you see this prince? The little kid looked at Chen Luo with a smile on his face. Chen Luo had a tense face. Pai Xiao Rou doesn't smile. Having seen His Highness the Third Prince, how could I not be happy to see him so happy? Really? The heart of a servant can be observed by the sun and moon. Chen Luo 4. The little kid stared closely at Chen Luo, and after 3 seconds, he laughed and said, "My Highness still believes in you." Speaking, he looked around. The voice became a little quieter. "Did you find the book that I asked you to find for your Highness last time?" Chen Luo nodded and said, "I found it. There are over 30 books in total." "So much." The little brat became a little anxious and said, "Your Highness, I won't tell you anymore. I went to read, and it's still the same. If anyone comes over, remember to remind me not to be discovered." Watching the little brat disappear from the library, Chen Luo's mouth twitched slightly. This little brat is His Royal Highness Xiao Jing, the third prince of the Zhou dynasty. I just turned 10 years old this year. He is the son of Yang Guifei. Due to Yang Guifei's reasons, these 3 princes have a great chance of competing for that position. As for why he came here, this also starts with the news brought by Jing Sanbao. A while ago, the Emperor of Zhou randomly checked the academic performance of these princes. The result was a sudden surprise. I heard that on that night, as an emperor on horseback, we fell ill on the spot and did not go to court for several days. All the princes were ordered to study hard. If you don't pass the next spot check, you won't be able to finish eating and walking around. Natural. These princes are panicking. Third Prince Xiaojing is one of them. Of course. These 3 princes are not here to search for the scriptures. I don't know who told him. This library has a spring palace painting. Pai came over, and when he came over, something happened. Anyway, for Chen Luo, it was quite a blow. This guy is young and doesn't learn well. He even asks himself how eunuchs pee. How to say this question? Chen Luo naturally does not like to answer. Just perfunctory in the past. But that's okay. That guy is holding those spring palace pictures and asking questions. Isn't this killing the heart? Eunuchs don't need face. Fortunately, this one in and one out has become more familiar. Chen Luo also discovered that these 3 princes, except for some abnormal people, a little mischievous. I like to play tricks on myself. Apart from not finding any advantages. The rest, in fact, doesn't have many shortcomings, of course. If he doesn't come, that would be even better. How good is it to be alone? Ignoring that little brat. That guy didn't finish reading more than 30 spring palace pictures that quickly. I don't know if Emperor Tianqi would have killed him or killed him severely if he knew his prince came here to see the spring palace painting. As for those few spring palace paintings, I have also studied them. It is indeed a good thing. Especially illustrations, it is even more exquisite. It doesn't seem like something from this era at all. Vivid and lifelike. I originally wanted to become a craftsman, but I found it useless. I held my breath hard. The originally exquisite picture suddenly became dull and tasteless. Even disgust. Life. Inexplicably lost a lot of fun. There's no way. I can only focus my energy on reading books. Only the occasional system prompts at that time could soothe Chen Luo's broken heart to some extent. In the library, Xiao Jing held a book and read it with a lewd expression. Occasionally, he even grins. Gently wipe the corners of your mouth. Or maybe with a few clicks. Full of disdain. It was that gaze that never moved a single bit away from the book. Chen Luo stood in the yard, practicing Tai Chi. Chen Luo has learned some Tai Chi. Although not precise, it can still be considered as entering half the door. At least he is also a member of the Tai Chi Association. I used to hang out with some old men in the park in my previous life. Now there is a system. Try to see if you can understand something from this Tai Chi. If possible, that would be even better. At least it can make up for my lack of cultivation skills. Stand still. Separate your legs naturally. Shoulder width. Keep your head straight and your body straight. Relax the body. Keep your arms naturally straight. Simultaneously silently reciting the Tai Chi Heart Sutra in my heart. Tai Chi practitioners have no ultimate vitality, and there is also an opportunity for movement. The mother of yin and yang, yin does not leave yang, yang does not leave yin, yin and yang are also in harmony, both of which are related to divine resonance. The mind is calm and the body is upright, and chi is also moving. Open and virtual reality, inner and outer integration, using softness to form steel, using both steel and softness, allowing for calm and free movement. This is a very magical feeling. A gentle breeze rose from the originally calm surroundings. A few fallen leaves leisurely fell and spun around Chen Luo's side. As Chen Luo's fist moves, he dances in the air. Chen Luo has a very wonderful feeling. That feeling is difficult to describe. The internal force, which was originally difficult to detect in the body, actually started to operate on its own. Flowing all over the body. You have developed a set of fist techniques and successfully mastered the skills. Tai Chi Mind Technique, which includes mind techniques, fist and sword techniques, and Tai Chi Heart Classic Experience points +3. P.S. This is a set of mind techniques, which seems to have something in common, including mind techniques, martial arts, and swordsmanship. It vaguely has the norms of a master. If it can be combined with training, there will definitely be great gains. Is it really okay? Chen Luo is somewhat happy. I didn't expect it to be really possible, are you? Boxing. Xiao Jing didn't know when he came out. He was small and mischievous, with his hands behind his back, frowning as he looked at Chen Luo. This boxing technique seems to have something, not much. Chen Luo. A fist technique with a hint of a master's demeanor. Can you tell me something, but not much? Hee, play around, your highness won't read anymore. Upon hearing these words, the third prince immediately showed a look of disdain. Chen Luo, what kind of person do you see this prince as? Don't show me that kind of book next time. How could my prince read such filthy books? I am wrong. Your highness is both virtuous and talented, intelligent and upright, with a majestic and upright demeanor. How could you possibly read such filthy books? It was my fault. Just know. The third prince hummed and said. So. Those books. How will the servant handle them? Keep them well, next time when we come down from this hall, we will criticize them carefully. Your highness has been wronged. Not to be wronged, everything is for academic research. Xiao Jing hasn't come back for a long time. Something happened in the harem. A palace maid found a little man with a needle under Yang Guifei's bed. The name of the current Empress Dowager is written on the character. This is Miao witchcraft. When the news reached Emperor Tianqi's side, he was furious and directly sent Yang Guifei into the cold palace. Meanwhile, the eunuchs and palace maids around Yang Guifei were all executed with sticks. And the third prince was placed under house arrest. People with discerning eyes actually understand that Yang Guifei lost in the competition for favor and was stopped by others. Yang Guifei monopolized the favor of the emperor for a long time, and there were many people who wanted her to cause trouble. Only she had an accident. Only then can this grace fall on oneself. When Chen Luo heard this news, he remained silent for a long time. Because Jing Sanbao was among the group of eunuchs and palace maids who died. Although Chen Luo doesn't like Jing Sanbao so much, it cannot be denied that he is indeed his first friend in this world. End of this chapter. Chapter 6. Destiny is Low. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 6. Destiny is low. Chen Luo did not cultivate on this day. Even eating was a bit perfunctory. You had a perfunctory meal, although it was not nutritious, you didn't feel hungry. P.S. It is recommended that you eat something rich in nutrients, which is the foundation for ensuring your physical health. Chen Luo glanced lightly at the hint. Immediately treat as not seeing. Zheng Sanbao's death was both unexpected and within Chen Luo's expectations. Being in the harem. Still serving Yang Guifei, who is in high demand. What is the difference between tying one's head to the edge of a knife? Not to mention, Zheng Sanbao's personality. Chen Luo also knows some that is a eunuch with considerable ambition. Such eunuchs often have only two consequences. After climbing high and enjoying a good period of time, I died. If I had to climb up, I would have died. So, Chen Luo knew that this day would not be too far away. That's also why Chen Luo is hiding in the library and unwilling to get involved in these things. The library is great. Just stay away from the center of the vortex of power. It's still a place where no one wants to come. There is no better place to go than here. As for revenge. Thinking too much, this is Zheng Sanbao's fate, and Chen Luo doesn't think there's any good karma for it. I have been in the palace for 30 years. In these 30 years, I have witnessed many people walking in front of me, coming and going. Sanbao is a good child and a smooth person. I was thinking that maybe he could go further here in the harem. Unfortunately, his fate is despicable. Fu Zhong sent someone to find Chen Luo and said he wanted to see him. Listening to Fu Zhong's words, Chen Luo remained silent. What he wants to refute. But in the end, he still didn't speak. The more this is said in the harem, the easier it is for accidents to occur. So, it's better not to speak. Li Fei's sighed, there is still a vacancy, do you really have no idea? Fu Zhong asked Chen Luo again. Chen Luo once again refused. Fu Zhong didn't say anything more, just stopped and signaled that Chen Luo could leave. Just as Chen Luo was about to leave, Fu Zhong shouted. If you have free time, go to the Shangwu Bureau and join the third-rank martial arts school. You need to make a note on the record. Since you are so steady and don't compete, don't let your tongue down. Chen Luo only then remembered that if a eunuch or palace maid walked towards the martial arts path in the Grand Zhou Palace, registration was required. This is also normal. You, a warrior, are not yet registered in the harem. What do you want to do? Fortunately, Fu Zhong reminded me. Otherwise, if it is discovered later, the matter will be troublesome. Next time, remember these things well and don't give yourself a pile of shit. If you don't want to eat it, then you'll have to eat it raw. Chen Luo thought. Just he still felt that Fu Zhong had been overly caring for him. As someone with limited power and status in the inner palace, most of the time he can directly arrange eunuchs, but with him, he still has some indulgence towards himself. Is it love? Chen Luo frowned. I always feel like things are not that simple, and this Fu Zhong is also a warrior. How could you suddenly see that you are a third-grade warrior? If you can't figure it out, then don't think about it. Anyway, time can tell you all the answers. I went to the Shangwu Bureau and registered my warrior identity, but the people from the Shangwu Bureau didn't say anything. A third-grade warrior is truly not worth caring about. Of course. If you enter the first-level martial artist, you need to pay attention. After all, this is not considered a nobody. In the Great Zhou dynasty, there were fewer than 2 strong players in the day after tomorrow. Although there were many first-level players, they could still be considered experts. However, for Chen Luo, reaching the first grade is still far away. It's not that fast to improve just because of his talent. Although there is a system in place. Experience can often be gained, but later on, it becomes increasingly difficult to gain. On the way back to the library, pass by the Imperial Garden. Chen Luo secretly lifted his head and glanced a few times. I happened to see a few talented people catching butterflies there. Tsk. Chen Luo let out a few clicks in his heart. He really wants to be that butterfly. If it could be held in my heart, that would be even better. Pa, a dead eunuch. Is this what you can think of? Do you think these are useful for birds? Forget it, let's just take a glance. Just one glance, at one glance, don't say it. Even the palace maids have such feelings. No, they can't watch anymore. Nasal bleeding is coming out. Come on. Chen Luo. The days of chaos in the harem are getting closer and closer. The atmosphere in the harem has been becoming increasingly oppressive lately. There is a faint feeling of mountain rain approaching and wind filling the building. Even Chen Luo from the deep library felt a bit uncomfortable. The emperor is sick. This is the news that Chen Luo heard. It seems that since being angered by several princes last time and seeing the imperial physician, this illness has become increasingly severe. Especially after Yang Guifei was sent to the cold palace, this emperor, who was on horseback for a lifetime, did not go to court for over half a month. And just 2 days after he went to court, bad news came from the cold palace. Yang Guifei has died. Hanging oneself. The news reached the emperor's ears, and he only nodded without saying anything. But the next day, Emperor Tianqi did not go to court again. The third prince Shaojing, who was originally placed under house arrest, finally lifted house arrest. When Chen Luo heard that Shaojing had been released from house arrest, he remembered that little brat in his teens. The person is not big. But it's quite interesting. Don't really say it. Perhaps it is due to unfamiliarity with these princes and grandchildren in the palace. Chen Luo thinks that this child is still pretty good. It was once again that Chen Luo was deeply moved by Zheng Sanbao. A week after Zheng Sanbao was executed with a cane, Wei Mingyi arrived at the library. When I came, I also brought a money bag. These are some money saved by Sanbao. He originally intended to say, keep this money, and one day if you get sick or something. There is also some money to cope with emergencies. Even worse, if you want to leave the library, you can still have money to take care of it. I just didn't expect. Wei Mingyi said, wiping away his tears. This money was supposed to be given to you by Sanbao, so I brought it to you. Chen Luo took the money bag. Open it and take a look. Several taels of silver. Why so much? He's in Yang. Wei Mingyi originally intended to mention Yang Fei, but now that he remembers this name in the harem, he cannot say it recklessly. So the conversation changed. Usually, he works hard and receives some rewards. Except for those he takes out as favors, most of them stay. Chen Luo let out a soft sigh. Sanbao, uphold righteousness. You are my friend Chen Luo. That evening, Chen Luo took out his money, left the library attic, and went to Homing Lane. This place is not far from where eunuchs live. Plus, it's a bit remote. Most of the time, there are no eunuchs on duty, most of them will entertain here. As for entertainment activities, what is it? It's just a gamble. Of course. It is also inevitable to know some amazing gossip. Chen Luo is not here to listen to gossip. He mainly doesn't know why. I always feel that I will definitely make a big profit tonight. This is a chance heaven desires to give, no need to take it. End of this chapter. Chapter 7. Few Insights. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 7. Few Insights. You completed a not very good multiplayer entertainment activity. Although your pleasure level has increased a bit, this is not a very good behavior. P.S. I suggest you read more books, cultivate your character, and cultivate noble character. Chen Luo feels very perfect. He really made a big profit. 3 taels of silver, finally flipped 5 times hard. A full 15 taels. Put it in your hand and weigh it a few times. This amount is sufficient. Chen Luo took out some money and had someone secretly cook a few small dishes at the cafeteria. Several familiar eunuchs gathered together. Eating side dishes. Drinking small wine. The eunuchs who were originally won by Chen Luo became even more comfortable when they looked at Chen Luo. Chen Gonggang, a cheerful person. Deliverable. The harem is not about fighting and killing, it's about human relationships and worldly wisdom. If you don't know how to be a person. So sometimes, you don't even understand how you died. As for Chen Luo. During this period, everyone gradually became familiar with each other. Everyone knows there is a eunuch named Chen Luo. Old eunuch Fu Zhong was originally going to ask him to go to Yang Guifei's place. The result is, Chen Gonggang is naturally indifferent and does not like to argue. This quota is gone. Finally, let Jing Sanbao give it a push. At the beginning, everyone began to envy Jing Sanbao. I think this is just a coveted job. But now this incident has occurred. On the contrary, everyone admired Duke Chen and felt that he was a person with great fortune. If it weren't for his non-competitive nature, I'm afraid he might have died this time. How about I say it? If you want to survive in the harem, it depends on your fate. Sometimes your fate is good, even if you don't want to develop, it's difficult. If your fate is not good, even if you work hard, it will not develop. Jing Sanbao is an example. He, fated to follow the wrong master, this fate can only be lost in vain. Of course, this is also Chen Luo's good luck. Otherwise, we won't be able to sit here and drink with us tonight. Wu Hai said, while praising Chen Luo, the innocent Jing Sanbao was pulled out and whipped the body. This Wu Hai is serving the eunuch on Min Zhaoyi's side. The other one is called Daocheng, who is from the imperial kitchen. As servants, who can have good luck? If we have good luck, we will still come to this harem. But it's just a cheap life. It's a pity that this time the three treasures brothers, it's gone like this. Hey! I heard the news that the little person from Yang Guifei's side this time was actually from the Empress Dowager's side. Cough. A gentle cough interrupted Wu Hai's words. Don't talk about the harem, don't think your life is too long, do you? Everyone is silent. I'm not discussing this anymore. Chen Luo chuckled. When I went back, I played Tai Chi again. Your Tai Chi Heart Classic has been improved by practicing a round of Tai Chi, with one method and 10,000 methods. Your experience points have increased by 2. P.S. Your mind is somewhat unclear, which is a big taboo in martial arts. We suggest that you rest early and replenish your energy in order to achieve twice the result with half the effort. Chen Luo didn't want to speak and gave the system a cold eye. Holding a pot of bamboo leaf green. Mounted the library. Sitting on the window. Facing the night. Looking at this huge palace. Sorry brother, I don't know what you like. I bought you a bottle of wine. You can't drink it anymore, so I'll reluctantly drink it for you. Chen Luo murmured. I took a sip of wine. It has to be said that it is truly a bottle that cost 2 taels of silver. It's really hard to drink. As for revenge. That's it. Yang Guifei's cooling is closely related to the empress. A eunuch seeking revenge on the queen. How hard do I have to think about it? Not in line with one's personal image. However, if you seek revenge, you can actually do it yourself. There is no rule to say that this revenge must be seen with the sword and blood. I have a natural talent for immortality, so endure that which to death. This plan is still very perfect. That's the happy decision. Chen Luo retracted his words. The empress is not a witch, she is just a fairy. Perhaps. Possible. Perhaps approximately. These things cannot be entirely blamed on the empress, she may also have some unavoidable difficulties, right? When Chen Luo saw the empress, it was in the afternoon 3 days later. Also with us is the eldest prince Xiao Yan. This time, the empress accompanied the eldest prince Xiao Yan to search for some books. A very noble and delicate woman. Just by looking at it, it's easy to fall into it. This is an incredible woman. A woman who can eat human bones. A fairy. Still a very elegant fairy. Chen Luo let out a slight sigh. This witch, how can I endure you to death like this? I can't bear to part with it. But the thought of Sanbao's death has something to do with her. Chen Luo thought for a moment and lowered his head, decided to look at her less. He must stand steadfastly on the decision to avenge her death. I heard that my third brother has come here to read books several times. When Chen Luo stood aside with his head down, a sound came from the ear. It's the eldest Prince Xiao Yan. Chen Luo replied, returning to His Highness the Grand Prince, His Highness the Third Prince has come twice and read books in the library. After reading them, he left. Is that right? The eldest prince said calmly, what book did you read? What book did you read? There are 36 styles of Spring Courtyard, Secret Manual of Mandarin Ducks, Secret Play of Boudoir, Heart Sutra of Jade Maiden, and so on. There's too much to say. When His Royal Highness the Third Prince was reading, I didn't get close, but sometimes the Third Prince's book would accidentally be left on the ground. I have seen it. Most likely, it should be biographies of the summer solstice, annals of the Eastern Zhou dynasty, biographies of the two Han dynasties, and so on. Ha! Upon hearing these words, the eldest Prince Xiao Yan let out a chuckle from his nose. Turning his head, he said to the queen, Mother, go back. This place is a bit boring. The queen nodded. The ceremonial guard has been raised, and the group has left this place. There are many affairs in the harem. The wind in the court is not small either. 100 officials joined forces to propose that if a country does not establish a crown prince, the world will be unstable. Emperor Tianqi is requested to appoint a crown prince. This is a major event related to the future succession of the Zhou dynasty's throne. It suddenly touched the hearts of many people. If it were in normal times, no one would dare to mention this. But now it's different. In recent years, Emperor Tianqi's health has become increasingly poor. Establishing a crown prince can also reassure everyone. But Emperor Tianqi suppressed these voices. No answer. Don't refuse either. This court has temporarily stabilized. But the harem opened up a grand drama of seizing reserves. Of course, the one who fought the most fiercely was the eldest Prince Xiao Yan, and the second Prince Xiaoteng. The birth mother of this great prince is Empress Murong Waner. However, Murong Waner's maternal family is the current Prime Minister Murong Xiuqi. Having Murong's family is basically equivalent to having the support of most civil servants. However, the second Prince Xiaoteng was the son of concubine Ning. This concubine Ning is from the warrior family. The Zhan family was a samurai family, and among them, Zhan Yincheng was a loyal minister accompanying Emperor Tianqi in launching the Tianqi campaign. It can be said that there is no fear of the current queen. Nature consort Ning also wants her son to compete for the position of the crown prince. The positions of the empress and the empress dowager. She's also going to argue. So the harem, which had finally calmed down, became eerie again. This kind of open and secret struggle. I don't know how many eunuchs and palace maids were affected. Every day, people are occasionally killed with sticks. Fortunately, these will not affect the library here. He actually feels like he's been a bit of a pig lately. You should eat and sleep. If so, I'll sleep and eat. Sometimes he thought that this was not the harem at all, but a pigsty. You stretched your waist lazily, your bones were fully stretched, but there was not much use. Well, let's play Tai Chi. It's okay to be idle. Strive to advance to the second level martial arts as soon as possible. It's the same as usual. Chen Luo started practicing Tai Chi. Just this time, he always felt like he had some insights. You have performed a round of Tai Chi, and this time you have vaguely gained some insights, but you cannot touch them. Your Tai Chi Heart Sutra experience has been improved. Experience value +5. P.S. You have some insights, but not much. Maybe you can try a few more laps. Perhaps this insight may disappear. Chen Luo. End of this chapter. Chapter 8. 15 Years of the Apocalypse. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 8. 15 Years of the Apocalypse. During this period of time, Chen Luo has been mostly studying the Tai Chi Heart Sutra in his spare time. This is the only technique that Chen Luo is currently learning. Overall, it's pretty good. Just slowly. It's difficult to obtain this experience value. Actually, it's not very difficult either. I still gain some experience. It's just that I need a lot of experience to advance now, so naturally it feels a bit difficult. Chen Luo wants to be reborn with a severed limb. I don't want to rely on medical skills to continue my career. Then we can only take the martial arts route. Let's see if it's possible for the legendary innate realm. That's also why Chen Luogo is here in the library. Don't argue, don't grab. The reason for avoiding arrogance and impatience. If this day falls, don't even try to stop yourself from pursuing your dreams. As for the fear of failure. Not present. He has unlimited opportunities to explore and start over. What is there to be afraid of? And now the system suddenly prompted itself with a vague perception, which was a remarkable thing. I have never experienced this before. At the beginning, I also had a feeling that I had a completely new understanding of Tai Chi this time. This time, there may be unexpected gains. If I could have new insights. So there are definitely great benefits to improving one's cultivation. Think of it here. Chen Luo started practicing Tai Chi again. After a lap you have performed a round of Tai Chi, although it looks great, there hasn't been much progress. P.S. You need to calm down, otherwise it will be in vain. No way. Come again. You've played around, maybe it's Tai Chi, although it may seem like something, it's actually nothing. P.S. You are a bit restless and restless. This is not a good mood that a warrior should have. I suggest you take a break, read a book. To cultivate your character. Chen Luo turned a blind eye. Continue practicing boxing. He was somewhat immersed in it. I seem to have understood some of the previously obscure parts this time. It's like there's a layer of white transparent plastic film blocking in front of me. Just one needle is needed to break through this plastic film. One's own understanding of the Tai Chi Heart Sutra will lead to a qualitative improvement. Finally, after Chen Luo played useless Tai Chi countless times. Like a flash of light. The transparent film blocking in front of him was suddenly punctured by him. When practicing martial arts, you have a brand new understanding of Tai Chi, and your Tai Chi Heart Classic has been improved. You have gained 10 experience points. P.S. This is a rare insight, we suggest that you regularly reflect on it 10 experience points at a time. This is the most experience gained by oneself. It's worth it. Chen Luo fell asleep. After completing the cultivation, a second ago, I was holding a book called Mandarin Duck's Secret Manual, and criticizing it, I fell asleep the next second. The sound of snoring is deafening. Even the book in hand fell to the ground. Spread out the book. Exposed a pair of vulgar artists. Chen Luo didn't understand. Although I am a eunuch, I have only practiced Tai Chi a few times. How could I be so tired all of a sudden? It seems that it's empty. If something is missing, it won't work. Many people have died in the harem recently. It's some palace maids and eunuchs. There is a consort named Fong. There is a concubine. There are also people from various concubines, such as Wu Jiaoyi. These concubines and the like all share a common characteristic, whether it's from the Empress's camp or from Consort Ning. It's obvious. This is a mutual move between the two sides. It's just a tragedy for those eunuchs and palace maids. And this is also the norm in the harem. Here, everyone's fate is in the hands of those in power. They are just a chess piece. No matter how it falls, it's always in the hands of others. Want to live? Not only do you need your own abilities, sometimes you also need your luck. Chen Luo has become increasingly fond of bookhouses. No matter how much fighting outside, it doesn't affect me at all. There is one more thing. It's Emperor Tianqi, really sick. This emperor on horseback forcefully snatched the land from his nephew's hands, and even forcefully expanded the territory of the Zhou dynasty by a circle of men. If you say you're sick, then you're sick. The frequency of going to court is also decreasing. Only the favor towards consortly has increased a bit. 15 years of Tianqi. Chen Luo has been in this world for a whole year. In this year, Chen Luo finally entered the realm of second-grade martial arts. Not only in martial arts, but also in various aspects, there has been significant improvement. Name: Chen Luo. Talent: Immortality skills. 1. Cleaning. For 20/800, level 4, 2. Medical skills. 158/800, level 4, 3. Tai Chi Heart Classic. 49/400, level 3, 4. 4 Arts. 78 out of 400, level 3, Wu Dao was replaced when he entered level 2 of the Tai Chi Heart Sutra, which means he entered the third level of martial arts, after learning the Tai Chi Heart Sutra. As for the 4 arts of Qin, chess, calligraphy and painting mainly during this period, Chen Luo couldn't find anything to do, so he studied it. Although he also didn't understand the usefulness of a eunuch learning this thing. You can turn your head and think, more skills don't weigh you down. Always find something to do for yourself, don't you? Originally, the Tai Chi Heart Classic has already reached level 3. I don't know what's going on, but when I reached level 2 with 199 experience, I inexplicably got stuck again. After an epiphany, I gained 10 experience points at once. Chen Luo Kai upgraded it to level 3. This experience has also restored the usual way of obtaining. Chen Luo seems to understand something. Perhaps this is similar to playing games, requiring hidden conditions such as job transfers. Once touched, the job transfer was successful. And the condition for one's job transfer is to have a successful understanding. Fortunately, I have my own system in place. Occasional guidance is still very beneficial. After reaching the second-level warrior, Chen Luo went to the Shangwu Bureau and reported again. The Shangwu Bureau was responsible for registration and finally looked straight at Chen Luo. Your name is Chen Luo. According to the records, when you entered the harem, you had no talent, and this year you entered the second-level martial arts realm. How did you cultivate it? A second-level martial artist has great potential. It is also present in the Imperial Palace. Many people in the Shangwu Bureau are also second-class warriors. But it took several years to reach this level. Has this eunuch named Chen Luo entered this realm? This cultivation speed is a bit different from what was checked. Chen Luo's heart was flustered for a moment, but he calmly explained to the person in charge, I have a relatively indifferent personality. Most of the time, I read books in the library, maybe it's related to this, isn't it? Sir, is this a bit inappropriate? Speaking openly, he stuffed something into the person in charge's hand. The person from the Shangwu Bureau gently weighed the weight in this hand. A satisfied expression appeared at the corner of his mouth. There's nothing wrong, it's just a question. With your level, you can now secure a good position in the harem. Would you like the Shangwu Bureau to report it to you? The Shangwu Bureau manages the safety of the harem. If there are good seedlings, they can be reported naturally. A second-level martial artist like Chen Luo Jin. It is necessary to either join the Shangwu Bureau or obtain a position as a eunuch in charge in the harem. It can be said. This can be considered an opportunity. Upon hearing this, Chen Luo quickly refused. Living well in the library is not good. Do you insist on coming out with waves? Are you in a hurry to die? I am very sorry for Chen Luo's choice of this Shangwu Bureau, but it is still up to Chen Luo to make his own decision. Everyone has their own aspirations. Since he wants to be a eunuch in charge of the library, let him do it. Return to the library. Chen Luo unexpectedly discovered that the third prince Xiaojing had arrived. P.S. During the new book period, it seems that you can invest. If you have time, please help invest and also provide some recommended tickets. Xiaopeng, thank you. End of this chapter. Chapter 9. Palace Maidens. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 9 Palace Maidens. When I saw Xiaojing again. This child is very different from before. He became much silent. The immature face also has the maturity that should not be present at this age. When I saw Chen Luo coming over, I just looked up and gave him a faint glance. I will see His Highness the Third Prince. Chen Luo Dao. Xiaojing did not answer. Still sitting there. Chen Luo also remained silent. I smiled slightly. Do your own thing on your own. Cleaning. Reading. Play Tai Chi. Occasionally reading medical books or something. Xiaojing watched Chen Luo do his own thing like that. This is a very strange scene. A eunuch. A prince. We got along with an unprecedented level of harmony. I'm leaving the palace. Just as Chen Luo was reading, Xiaojing suddenly spoke up. Father saw me last night and asked me to leave the imperial city. I'm leaving tomorrow. Chen Luo put down the book in his hand. Your Highness, where are you going? The Great Wall border. The border of the Great Wall is a barren land of ice and snow. In order to resist the invasion of the barbaric tribe, De Zhou set up hundreds of miles-long city walls in the northern border. This is the Great Wall. Fighting erupts year-round along the Great Wall border. Xiao Jingkai is only 11 years old. At this age, one must go to the border of the Great Wall. The danger involved must be immense. However, for Xiaojing, this may not necessarily be the best choice. Nowadays, the harem is full of turmoil. When Yang Guifei was alive, she couldn't even compete for anything for Xiaojing. Not to mention, she is already dead. Xiaojing is currently struggling in the harem, but even so, some people still don't want him to stay in the palace. Leaving this chaotic place is indeed a good choice for this third prince. Just looking at the third prince in front of me, Chen Luo understood that things were not that simple. There is a light in the eyes of this third prince. Obviously, he has his own ideas. The third prince is leaving. When I left, I asked Chen Luo if there was anything I wanted to say. Chen Luo rolled his eyes inwardly. I am just a eunuch, what else do I want to say? I am a commoner who doesn't know how to say anything beautiful, but I can offer you a message to your highness. May you have everything you wish for, everything you encounter, everything you ask for, everything you ask for, everything you hope for. Xiaojing's eyes were only fixed on Chen Luo. For a long time. Burst into laughter. Xiaoluozi, you are a very interesting eunuch. This place is too small for you. Not small at all, quite big. Chen Luo stopped and said, every day when I wake up to clean, I almost make my servant's waist unable to straighten up. I can't be any bigger. No matter how big I am, I will die. Xiaojing just nodded and said nothing more. Chen Luo did not have any thoughts on the appearance of Xiaojing. He doesn't know when he will be able to see this person again. Perhaps it will take 10 years. Perhaps it will take 20 years. Or perhaps, in this lifetime, we will never see each other again. You have reviewed a masterpiece left by a famous painter, and it seems that you have gained some understanding. Your 4 arts, painting techniques, have gained some improvement. Experience points +2. Chen Luo glanced at the Spring Court secret record, in his hand. Pop your own head. Forgot to ask him if he took this thing with him. Hey, this is a good thing. I don't have these books. The days at the border of the Great Wall are going to be dull and boring for him. Ming Fei, Fang Fei, Wu Jiaoyi, Li Kairen, Xiang Fei, Zhang Jieyu, and so on, more than 10 concubines in total. Overnight, he was sent to the cold palace. There is no reason, no excuse. But everyone knows that this is because the movements of the Empress and concubine Ning are getting bigger and bigger, which has caused dissatisfaction from Emperor Tianqi. So, that's why these people were sent to the cold palace. To knock the mountain and shake the tiger. The struggle between the two really improved on the surface after these concubines were sent to the cold palace. For the people in the harem. In fact, this kind of competition is even more fierce behind the scenes. As for Emperor Tianqi, I don't have much time to pay attention to these anymore. Due to long-term illness, I did not go to court. The court, which was originally subdued by him, underwent some minor changes. In the folk, some unnecessary sounds gradually increased. Even Emperor Jiangwen Xiaoyun, who had been driven off the throne by Emperor Tianqi and fled, began to take action and created a folk called the White Lotus sect. There is a great idea of making a comeback. Emperor Tianqi is now fully focused on Emperor Jiangwen. Where is there still the mood to manage the harem? And some people in the court became more active due to the appearance of Emperor Jiangwen. The heavenly Qi emperor, who had not been in court for a long time, dragged his seriously ill body and began to go to court again. And on Chen Luo's side, as usual, he continued to persevere. Study your own martial arts skills. Just there were some different changes that night. Chen Luo lay in bed. I can't sleep horizontally or vertically. There are 2 pillows on the bed, one is his. The other one is still his. His mind was filled with the shadows of the palace maids and concubines he saw passing by the imperial garden during the day. If they could become the butterfly in their hearts. Play with them. Must be a very sexual pleasure, right? Suddenly, Chen Luo frowned slightly. After advancing to the 2nd-level warrior, it seems that there hasn't been much change in oneself. But in fact, physical fitness is also good. Especially the 5 senses. All of them have been greatly enhanced. Although the voice was very subtle now, he still heard that there were some unnecessary things added to the library that was originally only his own. Someone has arrived. How about treating it as not hearing? Chen Luo thought. Late at night. In this place where ghosts never come, suddenly an extra person appeared. This may be a bit wrong. Turning over, continue sleeping. Half an hour later, the sound disappeared. This should be leaving, right? Get up. Light a candle. Bring a candlelight. Put on clothes. I walked out. Just arrived at the library. Push open the door. A figure collapsed directly in front of him. She slightly opened her eyes. In a weak tone, he said to Chen Luo, Chen. Duke Chen, help. Help me. After saying these words, the whole person immediately fell into a coma. Watching this palace maid dress up. Blood is flowing from the body. A woman who has fainted. Chen Luo's head is a bit heavy. No, who is this? Why do you still know yourself? Most importantly, the injury on this guy's body. Hush. This is really an arrow wound. This woman is really here to mess with my father. In law. Forbidden area of the imperial palace. A woman who was injured by an arrow. Is it okay to dress up as a palace maid? I just want to live a good life in the library. Where are you going? You insist on coming here. Did my father-in-law offend you? Chen Luo bit his teeth. This guy is a troublesome matter we need to report to the Shangwu Bureau. Anyway, a friend of the dead will never die of the poor. My father-in-law refuses to get involved in this chaotic plot. Just as Chen Luo turned around and wanted to leave, the woman seemed to know something and was unconscious. He uttered a familiar name from Chen Luo's mouth. 3 treasures Chen Luo. Are you really unconscious or not? End of this chapter. Chapter 10. Noble Hands. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 10. Noble Hands. Chen Luo ultimately did not go to the Shangwu Bureau. This has nothing to do with the fact that this palace maid is very good looking. Mainly because of the name that the palace maid was shouting. 3 treasures. Sanbao's grave grass is now over 1 meter tall. Here in the harem, Chen Luo didn't even hear this name for a long time. Now suddenly from a palace maid. It was called out from a woman covered in blood. Chen Luo felt it necessary to ask her about her relationship with Chen Sanbao. After all, Sanbao is Chen Gongong's first friend. They also left 2 taels of broken silver for themselves. Just it's not appropriate to leave this woman here. Although I don't know what this woman did, I believe things won't be small. Fortunately, there is a place in this library that is really suitable for Tibetans. At the corner of the lobby on the first floor of the library, there is a hidden pavilion. This Dark Lord has a room. As for why this room is here, it's not Chen Luoli's concern. Drag this woman into the darkness. After thinking about it for a moment, I tore open the woman's clothes and looked at the wound on top, then made some adjustments. At this point, the medical skills learned demonstrate their effectiveness. Chen Luo did not exert all his strength to treat the woman, he just hung her in one breath. Not to die. But I don't live so comfortably either. Chen Gongong still knows how to leave some room for himself. There was no need for Chen Luo to inquire about what happened in the harem, and the news came on his own. The first person to ring the library was Wei Mingyi. He came in a hurry. Tell Chen Luo what happened. The Empress's Changchun Palace is dead. The people from the Shangwu Bureau discovered the assassin and injured him, and are conducting a thorough search in the harem. The dead are Rao Shen. This person's identity is not simple. This Rao Shen was a maid who grew up with Empress Muron Waner since childhood. Before Muron Waner entered the palace, she was the one serving Muron Waner. After entering the palace, the Empress was reluctant and took her with her. This can be said to be the person Muron Waner trusts the most. But she died. This is definitely the biggest blow for the queen. Not long after Wei Mingyi left, the Shangwu Bureau also arrived. Fortunately, Chen Luo took the palace maid inside and also dealt with the traces she left. After not finding anyone, the people from the Shangwu Bureau also left. Chen Luo breathed a sigh of relief. Turning back into the darkroom, Chen Luo frowned slightly as he looked at the woman on the bed. Who exactly is this woman from? The person who ran to the harem and killed the queen. The queen directed and acted for herself. Or is concubine Ning going to teach Muron Waner a lesson? Or is it that praying mantis catching cicadas and yellow sparrows behind? This question is unclear, but it's okay. When this woman wakes up, everything will be clear. This night, many people in the palace stayed up. When the woman woke up, it was already afternoon. When you open your eyes, it's like a startled bird. He even directly took action against Chen Luo. But after all, he was seriously injured. Suddenly subdued by Chen Luo. This woman finally realized her current environment. What Chen Luo didn't expect was that the woman's first sentence was, "When did you become a second-level warrior?" It seems that this woman is very familiar with Chen Luo. Who are you? How did you get to know Sanbao? How did you know me? Chen Luo asked. The woman frowned slightly. It's best for you to know less about who I am. Knowing too much won't benefit you much. After I recover from my injury, I will leave as soon as possible. I have taken note of this kindness today. Chen Luo chuckled. Stand up. Where are you going? Shangwu Bureau. Shua. The woman's face finally changed. Don't. She shouted. Don't. Chen Luo said calmly, you may not have realized what's going on now. It's you begging me now, not me begging you. The woman gritted her teeth. Looking at Chen Luo. There was a chill in his eyes. My name is Niaji. You can only know these things, you absolutely cannot know the rest. If you really dare to go to the Shangwu Bureau and say it, then I can guarantee that if I am taken away by the Shangwu Bureau, you will definitely not be able to escape. I will tell the Shangwu Bureau that you and I are in the same party. And you cannot deny it either. At this moment, you can't explain why I'm here at all. You saved me, that's a fact. Speaking of which. Niaji took a deep breath. Looking at Chen Luo. Chen Gonggang, please hold your hands high. Okay. Chen Luo nodded. Raise your hand and attack Niaji directly. Niaji. The feeling of killing is not good. Especially killing a really good-looking girl. Looking at lying on the ground next to me women who have long lost their breath. It took Chen Luo several minutes to recover to normal. Killing people. Especially for the first time, it will naturally be very uncomfortable. Just go through it a few more times. Chen Luo felt like he had done a lot of useless work. It was finally saved. I killed myself again. What is this called? But it's not his fault, he never expected this woman to be so foolish. Are you still threatening yourself at this time? Chen Luo just wants to live a peaceful life, to develop in a sleazy manner in the library, strive to reincarnate and transform one day earlier, to become a new person. Since she threatened herself, there was nothing she could do. We can only hold our hands high. As for the secret behind this woman, it doesn't matter who instructed her to kill the Empress. As long as these bullshit don't bother me. Time will tell you all the answers. Niaji's body was buried in a pit dug under the darkroom. Actually, it's okay if you don't dig, and no one will notice if you leave it here. Mainly, Chen Luo is worried that if the body rots, the smell will be too strong. So I had to work harder myself and dig a pit. You dug a small hole, and after some exercise, your breathing became longer and your physical fitness improved slightly. P.S. You can regularly engage in this type of exercise, which will make great progress in your cultivation. It's a pity. Chen Luo looked at Niaji's body. What a good girl she is. My figure is also good. Good appearance. Unfortunately, it's useless. What is this? Chen Luo suddenly noticed that there seemed to be something wrong with the woman's belly. I reached out and explored inside, and after a few minutes, I finally pulled out an unexpected harvest from my arms. That's a book, Flying Swallow Transformation. This is the cultivation method. It's still about body movements. Good thing. Chen Luo didn't expect such a harvest. This is definitely the first cultivation technique I have obtained in this world for the first time. However, this thing can be practiced now, but it cannot be discovered by anyone, let alone used otherwise. Someone might associate it with Niaji. Wait for a few decades. No one remembers this assassination incident. Everyone who knows Niaji will die. I can take out and use this flying swallow transformation myself. You have practiced the flying swallow transformation once, and have gained a new understanding of this new martial art. You have learned the flying swallow transformation and gained experience points plus 3 PS. This is a type of martial arts in terms of body method. Long-term cultivation can make one's body method more sensitive. It is recommended to learn. Don't really say it. After practicing, my whole body became sensitive. Standing in the library hall. Chen Luo stomped his feet. He felt that, this time, he lifted his hand quite well. End of this chapter.